Here are some vocal techniques and exercises. They will be demonstrated by some of the singers in our Om choirs. But I wanted to give you perhaps a little bit more on the various aspects of training the voice. The first is breathing. There are many theories on how to breathe. The one I suggest is to watch a sleeping child. There will be no stress or strain in the upper body. Breathing will be relaxed, with the breath taken through the nose. You will note that the diaphragm expands with the breath, and the lower three ribs are pushed out by the lungs. In this manner, the lungs are filled to capacity. If one is under stress, say from running, and one breathes this way, only half the lungs are filled. The bottom portion doesn't get filled. That has to be with a quick sniff, the expansion of the diaphragm and the lower three ribs. The shoulders should not rise, and the chest should not lift up. And a quick, even silent, sniff through the nose will fill the lungs completely. It is good to watch trained singers, especially opera singers, as you will never see any stress in the upper body when producing a note, even the highest notes. In fact, in an opera, the heroine may fall to the ground from being stabbed, etc., and there will be no change in the quality of the tone. And often it will be on a very high note. If your chest and shoulders tend to rise, you can use a technique my voice teacher taught me, and that is to imagine that you are holding a heavy bucket of water in each hand and cannot possibly lift the shoulders or the chest. Next, humming. It is best to begin all exercises by humming. In this way you will not strain the vocal cords, and you will warm them up, making them flexible and pliable. As you begin humming, focus in the mask of the face and put an H in front of the M. Moving the air across your lips, you should feel them vibrating slightly. When you have developed resonance, you may also feel a tingling in the ears. Next section is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is the support system for the air in the lungs that enables us to sing. In fact, it even enables us to speak, or at least helps greatly in projecting the voice. For example, if I say ha from my throat, it's very different from saying ha, 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 using the diaphragm. Proper use of the diaphragm requires much training, and this will be demonstrated in the exercise section. The diaphragm controls the amount of air you use to produce a note or a series of notes. It is especially important in the upper ranges of the voice, as this is where the support tends to weaken. Again, my voice teacher would tell me that at the end of an exercise, the diaphragm should touch the spine. As our exercises will demonstrate, complete control of the diaphragm will allow perfect control of the singing voice. Our focus in the Om choir, and I've entitled this Training the Body. Our focus in the Om choir is much more than learning to sing. It is a training of the body consciousness to become as receptive an instrument as possible to receive the new music and to allow it to descend in and through us. Therefore, we must pay attention to all the parts that are involved in producing a tone. The mouth. The mouth should be as open as possible to allow the maximum sound to come through. Singing with the mouth half closed restricts the sound. If you open the mouth fully, you will notice that twice the sound is produced with no more effort. Of course, when we sing lyrics, the mouth has its importance in forming words. And in the Om choir exercises, we will demonstrate how to properly form vowels, and especially how to produce the most beautiful Om possible as our offering. The jaw. The jaw has a mind of its own and will surprise you with its movements. It too must be trained to be motionless in certain exercises, when it usually will move up and down of its own volition. There are 2 exercises to train the jaw, and both are highly effective. I combine here the jaw and the mouth because we tend to speak like this and we don't really project. We don't develop the resonance that is possible with the use of the diaphragm. So to open the mouth, we have a 3-finger exercise, which is this. And I guarantee that you'll keep it open because you won't bite your fingers off. Or this. If you practice that, even if it's a bit difficult, you will find sound just emanating from you with beauty and force and power. The power will amaze you, as it has done very often to those who come to the Om choir. The tongue. When singing vowel sounds, the tip of the tongue should rest lightly against the back of the lower teeth. The tongue, too, needs to be trained, because if it curls in the mouth, it blocks at least half the sound. But if it rests lightly, the tip against the lower teeth, it's out of the way. Now, this is a section called the various tones. As we move in range from the lowest notes to the highest, the sound is centered in different areas. Simply put, the lowest tones are chest tones. Om, Om, Om. We can feel the resonance in the chest. And not in good voice today, but you can hear the resonance in the chest. The middle tones of any type of voice are a combination of chest and head tones. And the highest notes that we sing are primarily head tones created in the head. You can easily hear the differences in a bass voice, baritone voice, and high tenor voice, as well as in the various ranges of the female voice. Many singers have a range of 2 to 3 octaves. But for the Om choir, this is of no great importance. Producing a tone is the last section today. After warming up by humming, there are numerous exercises we will demonstrate to achieve flexibility and increase the range of the voice without forcing. In fact, we often have a much greater range than we think, and therefore, when producing a high note, one should imagine coming down on the note from above instead of reaching up for it and straining. So in the next section, we'll demonstrate the different exercises with using different voices, female and male voices. We begin with the humming exercises to warm up the vocal cords, and I'll speak about those things in my preparatory work, but let's begin on the hum with an H in front of the M. A smile is permitted. Exercises normally to stretch the voice, to increase its range, and so we'll go as high as we can go without straining, beginning as low as we can go. Now the second exercise on is in thirds, first, third, and fifth. And we can do it a little faster also. Little more power. We want to exercise the whole body. It's actually a work of the body consciousness, because we take into consideration all the parts that are involved in singing: the breathing, the diaphragm, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, the upper body, the ribs. So we'll touch on all those parts as we continue. Now, let's do a few more. Yes, put all of your consciousness even into that hum. All right, and we would continue going up like that to our highest note without straining. The third exercise on all the while we're working on breath control, and we should talk a little bit about breathing now. To take a proper breath, a quick sniff through the nose, and if you can put your hands on your lower ribs here, and what you will feel if you take it properly is the lower three ribs will go out and the diaphragm will expand like the belly. Okay? A quick sniff and that's it. And you have all the air you could get in the upper and the lower part of the lungs. Now, the difficulty is in keeping the ribs out as you sing, because naturally they're not trained and they want to just collapse like that. And when you do that, all of the air you just took in is lost. So to try to hold the ribs out, then we begin to use the diaphragm to support the air column in the lungs so that we can sing. And the better the support and the more you use the diaphragm, and we'll have some exercises on that, the better your voice will become, because nothing will be strained in this area. Everything will be done from here. And if you look at any great singer, you'll never see stress in the upper body. You'll also never see them taking a breath like that, because a breath like that, let's say you're a runner, for example, you only fill half the lung. You can't fill the bottom part of the lung because you don't have that possibility when you're running. You have to just breathe like this, either through your mouth or through your... How does a marathon runner breathe? Through the mouth or the nose? Huh?
You breathe in through your nose and breathe out with your mouth.
Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. See? So, still only getting here unless you can do this, but you can't be concentrating on that when you're running. So we need to do it when we're singing. Okay, so let's continue on with support that note, no strain here. If you have to take the octave now, you can take the octave. we've reached that plateau, but if you continue to do these exercises, you'll see the half step gained here, half step gained down below. The voice, the vocal cords become more flexible, become more pliable, and therefore your range increases with the same quality. That's important. All right, so that's the first 3 exercises on humming. By now our voice is warmed up, and we'll begin with consonants and vowels. No, 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 no. And it's important because this is actually the O sound for Om. So we want to have the O as clear as possible. Na. We push the tip of the tongue off the back of the upper teeth. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And here I'm using the diaphragm throughout. I'm just bringing it in a little bit. And my teacher used to tell me, as I've often said in the Om choir, German teacher, when you finish, your spine must be, your diaphragm must be touching your spine. So that's the idea of the diaphragm. No. No, 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 no. Very good. No, 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 no. Good. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yes, now listen to each other because it's excellent, but we're getting higher. So try to match the timbre, actually spelled T-I-M-B-R-E. The timbre of the voices is the quality of each of your voices, and it's very, very well blended even now. No, no. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. You're perfectly matched. Why don't you change places with Carolyn? Let's say that's to me, and then the ladies' voices would be, well, I mean, you two are, I mean, it's like that, it's perfect. But all of the others also saying, no, 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 no. Feel the difference? It's easier. Good. No, 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 no. Let's just talk about the diaphragm for a moment as we go. And the breath control and breathing. So, as I've often demonstrated in the Om choir, if you take the proper breath, it's like a barrel, and nobody can crush it. So, strong man here will try to crush my ribs. I'm just going to take a breath.
Elastic.
Try it from the front.
With the diaphragm.
No, try to crush from the front so everybody can see that you're really working.
Yeah.
See, now anyone can do that, and nobody can crush your, because there's a balloon in there. That's the air filling the lungs, and it's pushing out the ribs, and nobody can crush that balloon. Try it with each other, and you'll be amazed. Try it with each other. Quick sniff, quick sniff. Okay. Huh? All right. No, 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 no. sing. No, 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 no. And we could go a little higher, but we have a lot of exercises today, so we won't go higher for now. Now we do the same thing on vo, but on thirds. And repeat twice. Here's the exercise. Vo, 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 vo. And it's a v, with the air coming across the lips. Vo. Vo, 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 vo. Oh, good, we got some nice low tones. Vo. Vo, 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 vo. Vo, 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 vo. Vo, 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 vo. As clear as you can make it, bell-like. Oh. Lot more difficult than humming to get that perfect blend. Oh. Difficult now as we hit those top notes, so really use the diaphragm. Vo, the top note is quite high, and we have different techniques in singing we call coloring or covering the note. So vo, vo can be done this way. Vo, vo, vo. You see, there are different ways of shading that tone, and you have to find which is the best for you. One can be an open sound, the other can be what we call a covered sound. But we don't want vo. That's the sound we don't want, the white tone we call it, or spread tone. We don't want a spread tone. So we have to always focus the tone properly or cover it. Another thing that is very important is to feel within that you have many more notes above that. And so you're coming down on the note instead of reaching up for it. Okay, that same vo. And now I just think that we can go a little higher because we just did it. Vo. Sure, you still have more vo. Cut out, but we're going to go up a little bit more. Vo, vo, because we have some good sopranos with us today, so we're going a little higher. Vo, after vo. Yes, and I know you could go even higher than that. Wonderful. Okay, now we'll do an exercise that's quite different. Huh? And all of these exercises are designed, and they're centuries old, for proper placement of the voice, to develop resonance, to develop vibrato, and be able to sing vibrato or sing with a straight tone. I guess I should demonstrate that. So you control with the diaphragm the vibrato or coming into a straight tone. In Europe, they usually teach straight tone first into vibrato. In America, they teach beginning with the vibrato. But it's good to have both. If we're, as in our own choir, most people sing with a straight tone. They're not singers. They haven't developed the vibrato. The beauty of the straight tone is that in the greatest choirs who use straight tones, the notes are perfectly in line. Because with the vibrato, there's a little waver. And if you have a waver in soprano and alto and tenor and bass, you'll hear in European, especially Eastern European choirs, there are other notes coming in with that vibrato. And the older one gets, the vibrato slows down. And so you want to always work with the diaphragm and not have a vibrato that goes, you see, that's what happens if you don't care for the voice. Okay, this exercise, zoom, zoom. You can feel it right here in the front of the mask, zzz, right in the upper front of the mouth, zzz, zoom. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Yeah, it's nice when you can hit that top note and hold it a little bit, huh? Because you've prepared that through that whole exercise. You've prepared for that top note. Nice. More zzz. Angry bee. Buzzing around. Zzz. Zzz. Well, maybe it's a happy bee in the flowers. That's interesting, isn't it? It happens very quickly that the voice cuts out at the top note. One more. Zuzum. Zuzum, 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 zuzum. Okay. All right. Now the next one is on no, 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 no. Pop it off the back of the upper teeth. No, no. We've often said that word. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Do you feel how we're developing energy? How the voice is warming up and the energy is starting to come forth? That's why we have to do these exercises, just as an athlete will stretch and warm up before doing anything serious, because they know that injuries can happen. And we have only 2 vocal cords given us for our entire life. We must be very careful of them. No. No, 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 no. Yes, it's a good O. No. No, 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 no. Yes. Oh, almost a little mysterious. No, 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 no. Yeah, now you're blending better. No. No, 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 no. Can we shade it a little bit more? No, no, you're fine. No, 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 no. Much better. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. Good breath. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Pitch. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. One more, no. No, 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 no. Very good. We have lots to go through, so I'm not taking us all the way up to the top each time. The next no is no. Oh, sorry, we'll start lower. No, 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 no. We did vo. No, no, no. You see when I project that, no, no, no. How it comes out? No. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You see we're becoming relaxed and it's coming out more easily. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. Now, the next one is on one note. Ma, me, mi, mo, mu. 5 vowels, huh? Ma, me, mi, mo, mu. Ma, me, mi, mo, mu. nice. Jumping up a whole step at a time is quite a lot. So we'll do whole steps on this one because yeah, the oo should be the oo in flute. Flute. Ooh, sounds like I have 10 people here instead of 6 now. See, it's very, very nice. Most choirs have difficulty with the may and the me. There's no problem here today. See, me, I get that sound, may, and that means there's no focus. There's no control of the quality of the tone. But you're doing great. Ma, we'll go half step now. Ma, me, mo. Full step. Ma, half step. And so forth. Really have to use the diaphragm on this. Little smile. Re. Now in Orville we have many low voices, so we're going to take this down as far as we can today. Re. Very good. Okay. Now we do the same thing on Ria. Ria. Now, this is very different because on the ah, we drop the jaw and open the mouth as wide as possible and get a tremendous sound out. Rio, 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 Rio. Not so easy. Rio. The tongue must stay out of the way in this one. I've seen a couple of tongues going back. Now, if the tongue goes back, the sound is blocked. Can't come out, or at least half is blocked. Let the tip of the tongue lie flat, gently against the back of the lower teeth. That's it. Got it. Rio. Got it? A-H-W. Again. Better. Could be still better. Or. Good. I know I'm warmed up. The same thing happens with su. Su. This is for the U vowel. German, it's easier. Okay. Nice fluty U. Anyway, we'll stop that one. Now, next one is hung. 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 See where the tongue is? Hung. Hung. Open out into E. Hung. 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 Difficult, then. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Okay, next one is on the same idea, but it's sing ah. Sing ah really opens up. Sing, sing ah. You want to get that sing ah. Just drop the jaw out of the way. Now the voices are fully warmed up, aren't they? And you just feel it. I mean, it's 10 times the sound as when we started with the same effort. Now we have a difficult one, and we'll end on that because I want to do a little bit of blending. As far as we can go down. No, 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 no. Good. And how do we attack that high note? How do we hit it? Without forcing now, we're going to keep going up. Drop out when you have to. see, we found the range. We found the range of our voices, okay? So we have alto, a little higher, mezzo we call it, that has the range of alto and some soprano, and then fairly high soprano, a little bit bigger, higher range, and very high range. Wonderful. Now blending for the last few minutes. So this is going to be difficult because there are only 6 of us. So we'll try just a little bit in the beginning. In the Om choir, we go, of course, much deeper because we have 20, 30, 50, 80, 100 people, and each one has to try to listen with a deeper listening of the soul and to extend our consciousness not just to the person on the left and right, but slowly to embrace every soul in the group. Is a great challenge, but we have done it. And the music is coming down, the new music. And the more we work at this inner unity, this harmony of soul to soul, the more the music will descend. So we begin again. This will be a dissonant interval. And it seems that, although a very complex interval, there's a harmony in it somehow. Thank you all. It's just about 8 o'clock, and this will be a very valuable help to all those who are beginning Om choirs around the world, because we'll have a DVD of the exercises, of the choirs, of the recitations of Mother and Sri Aurobindo on Om, quotations from Savitri, and clips from different Om choirs in India. So, thank you all.
Thank you.
Focus your consciousness on each note. Make every note a prayer, an aspiration to be produced as perfectly as possible, so that our collective soul may rise in the purest aspiration, asking for the new music from the divine to descend in us and through us for the transformation of the earth.